Okay. Hello, hello. I'll wait a few minutes before I start napping. I'm napping on every live stream now. Got my little apron like I used to use back in the day when I first started making videos. I'm going to be doing indirect percussion mainly. Well, I don't know about mainly. I got a chunk that's pretty bad. Hey, Alan Cole, first one, door prize, yay! So my name is Patrick. The channel name is Jack Crafty. I have over 2,000 videos. You can do a search for Jack Crafty and whatever you think I might have covered, and maybe a video will pop up. Hey, Mike Tufts is here. Jim Cooper, Early Birds. Yeah. So, yeah, if you think I might have covered a topic related to flint napping, just type in Jack Crafty and whatever that topic is, and maybe I have a video on it. I've been doing this since 2011. Keith is here. Stidley Designs is here. Hello. Um, Mike Tuff says I was first, but I was being polite and saying hello. All righty. Dalton McCormick is here. Mic check. YouTube is struggling. Yeah, hopefully the mic is working. Did you hear the puff on it? Yeah, if not, let me know and I'll turn the mic on and off. Got your tool the other day. I seriously underestimated the power of this Nachomatics. Jim Cooper got the tool. Yeah, I sent it in a little envelope. Yeah, it seriously has some power. Now, you probably tried it on Obsidian. It has an explosive effect on Obsidian. The sound is good, says Alan Cole. Awesome, thank you. Yes, the mic is good. All right, so yeah, if it's not one thing, it's everything. Yeah, I've had trouble with everything. Uh, I tried to go live on the phone the other day. Well, I didn't try. I actually pushed the button to go live, and it went live. But it doesn't give me the option to demonetize. I have to look into it more. Anyway, I might start doing live streams from my phone. I just don't know how it's going to look with the comment section. And I got a new phone and a separate line. That's a brand new phone with a separate line. And I have my original phone, but I'm going to get a new original phone with my original number this week. So I'll have two brand new phones. So I won't have no excuses for being able to film. Let's see here. I'm using my computer right now, and the camera's okay, but eventually I will get a separate camera to plug into my computer when I do these live streams from the computer. Brandon says hello. Mike Mason, hey, 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 ho, hey, yo. Let's see. Keith says, I haven't even had a chance to check out the auction yet. Dang it. Where you been? Jim Cooper says, no, actually, some raw shirts and even some Ryanlight I had, it it did well. Okay, so he didn't use the Nachomatic on the Obsidians yet. Just wait. When you use the Nachomatic on the Obsidians, it'll have an explosive effect. Yes, yes. Smack that like button, everybody, as you're coming in. Yeah, all you early birds. There's no trouble with the early birds. It's the people that come in a little bit later that forget to hit the like button. Where am I here? I'm going to start pounding on this piece here. This is from Brian Olson. Yeah, Brian Olson. It's a heat treat from Oregon. It's an Oregon Jasper, very large piece. The heat treat is 350 to. The heat treat is 350 degrees for 5 hours and then 400 degrees for 2 hours. Right? Short said. Yeah. All right. So let's see. I already knocked off a piece earlier, and that piece was good, but I don't know where to knock off another piece because it's all kind of wonky. Let's see. Same area. Yeah. So this heat treat is kind of greenish. I mean, this Jasper is green. Oregon Jasper. if I haven't mentioned that already. I don't know what I've mentioned. See, it's kind of nasty. I just knocked off that area right there. Jeremy, happy napping. Um, Jim Cooper says your box will have some goodies and some challenges. Awesome. Alan Cole says I'm getting ready for work, so you'll have fun with the XP leaderboard. Jim says, do you have any Edwards amoebas or nodules left? No, I don't. I don't have any amoebas. No, I just got a bunch of flakes, and I'm going to be sending all those to Spain. Yeah. I looked through my flakes on amoeba chert flakes today. I got to separate them out because I got a ton of little teeny ones, and then some that are like 2 inches. I'm going to separate those out and see how many I got, and then yeah, they're like 99% of those are going to Spain. I might keep a few for myself because I like amoeba chert, especially the last ones that Sal sent me. I have some other amoeba chert flakes, but they're not high grade stuff, and they're sitting in my storage unit. So they're not that great. There's some red areas on there. You can't see. It looks so dark on this one, on this camera. Let's see. Mike says, take care, Alan. Yep. Jim says, don't need flakes. I have tons. Looking for percussion nodules. Yeah, I don't have. Yeah, I'm looking for percussion nodules all the time, too. Yep. I don't have any. I need some more because I'm going to do some rock to points. Everyone wants rock to point videos. I'm just doing rock to biface videos instead of doing the whole point. I've been doing that lately because the rocks that I've been getting are high grade in most cases, and I don't want to mess them up. By doing everything on video, I tend to mess things up or not get them as thin as I possibly can if I do a video on them. Yeah. So if I want to get them thin or do anything fancy, I have to do it off camera. I don't have to, but it's so much easier, comparatively speaking, than to try to do all that on video. Whoops. I don't know. I just broke off a lot of it. Dang it. You got to make that voice when you break something. Oh, man, it's broken. It's all nasty. It's that voice where you're dying in the desert. Oh, water, water. Yeah, it's killing me, this stuff. Come on, where are you? There you are. So that's what happens. What is it? Why did it break like that? It's supposed to be a nice heat treat, well behaved and everything. Let's see. 2 cameras so people can figure out the 52.6 degree angle. Yeah, I might. I don't know if I'll have 2 cameras running at the same time. I mean, I can do the picture in picture now. I see where I'm able to do it on my. I have video editing software on my phone, but not on my computer. But I like it that way because my video editing software is pretty straightforward. It doesn't have any of the unnecessary bells and whistles, and it doesn't take me very long to figure out where the features are that I haven't explored yet. It's pretty easy to find all the features, and I found the picture, but I don't know. I haven't experimented with it yet. I have a hard enough time doing everything else. What is this? It's all crunchy. It's all crackly. This is supposed to be challenge rock. Not impossible rock. Yeah. I'm supposed to work my mojo on this or my hocus pocus. Yeah. I don't know. Let's see. Mike says, I got some small nappable rocks from the gas station, almost too small to mess with. Yeah, but they're a lot of times they're good quality when they're that small. Jim says, if anyone wants flakes, I'm willing to trade double weight in usable flakes for a whole rock. Yeah, so get with Jim. He'll, weigh your rock and then say, hey, Jim, this weighs like 11 ounces. Can you send me 22 ounces of flakes? Yeah, he'll double the weight of your rock. I think that's a good deal. Because Jim, he likes doing the large pieces. He doesn't like messing with the small flakes. He's one of those large blade guys. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking of just stopping doing large blades unless someone sends me something specific. I'm done with buying large rocks. If someone sends me a large rock like that big obsidian chunk, I'll nap it. That's coming up. Hopefully this week I'll have time to nap that. But other than that, I stopped buying large rocks a while ago. Yeah. I have no interest. I'm actually sick of large stuff. Yeah, I can't stand it. But I'll do it once in a while. Yeah. Just like food that you don't like, but it's kind of healthy for you. Yeah, you'll eat it once in a while, but not all the time. You just kind of get sick of it if you start forcing yourself to eat the nasty stuff that you don't like. Could be good for you, but if you eat too much of it that you don't like, you're never going to eat any more of it. Same with napping. If you nap too much of what you don't like, you just lose interest in napping, period. Well, it's not doing anything. What am I going to do? Let's see. Ed Gould says, I guess I'll check in. All right, I guess I'll read your comments, Jesse says, what's up, guys? Nice items in the auction again. Thank you, thank you. Keith, thanks for sending out the hounds. I was guilty. Yeah. Yeah, we got more likes than we have people watching. How's the weather your way, says Ed. Weather's perfect today. It was really nasty a few days ago. Comparatively speaking, it was not summer weather. Today, it's getting up to like 76 degrees, but tomorrow, it's supposed to get up near 80. It still gets down to the 50s and 60s at night. So there's like a 30-degree temperature swing between daytime and nighttime. The neighbor's using the weed eater. So I'm in Vermont now. I used to be in Texas. Yeah, I used to be in the land of desert plants and thorns and cactus. Now I'm in the land of trees and Lyme disease and ticks. I don't know what's worse. I was disappointed learning that this area is now infested with ticks, where when I grew up in New Hampshire, we didn't have any ticks. No tick problems, and there was plenty of deer around. But now there's a ton of ticks and Lyme disease everywhere here. So I got scared of going in the woods during the warmer months. So I don't even get to go to the trails very much. Yeah. I mean, 5 minutes down the road, I can be in wilderness. I mean, I still hear the highway, That's the bummer. I want to go out and I want to film nature sounds. Yeah, as long as I don't mind the trucks passing by, I can record all the nature sounds I want. It just mixed with trucks. You know, tractor trailer trucks. You can hear them a mile away, literally. Especially here when there's no other sounds. The only sounds you hear are trains and stuff on the highway. This is becoming loose too. Oh no, Mike, this bopper's getting loose too. Look. Damn. All right, but I can still use it. Yeah. I just make sure it's on there good. Oh, I can feel it rattling around a little bit. Anyways, this is not going to be easy. No. And Flintknapping is never easy, but it is easier sometimes. So when I say it's going to be easy, I just mean it's going to be easier. Yeah. What is the other piece? What does the other piece look like? It's the same. It has that same crusty, dry surface look to it. See the dry surface look? That's what it is. It's a dry, rough surface that's, even though it's heat treated, it's not that easy to nap. Let's see. Okay, I missed some chat. Where did it go? Let me see if I can get this to work here. Let me see here. Let's see. Jesse says we got rain big time this weekend. Leftover hurricane from Mexico. Oh, dang. Ed Gould says it's supposed to move in here in an hour or so and rain all night. Dang, that's not good. Jim says, oh, forgot to mention I'll be out of the napping game for most of the summer. I'm getting hip surgery in a week and I won't even be able to put weight on it for like 6 weeks and PT after that. Yeah, physical therapy, it looks like. Keith says, I'm bouncing back and forth between the auction and the live. I have to get caught up. Yeah. So, yeah, that doesn't sound very good, Jim. Hip surgery. Yeah. Good luck with that. My mom had hip surgery. My dad had knee surgery. Yeah, it took a while to get back up and running. Both of them had issues with that, with the surgery. As far as recovery, slow recoveries. So hopefully your recovery won't be slow. Let me check the auction. Now that you've mentioned it, Jesse, right? Mike Tuff says, did you hear about the new tick disease? Some kind of Asian tick that they have cases in Connecticut? Great, that's all I need. Chinese ticks. Yeah, that's all we need. Mike Mason says, I did make one not so great point from my little gas station rocks. I'll probably post it later. Awesome. The one I did looks like a fish when I shine the light through it. Well, that sounds pretty good. Jeremy's here. June is supposed to be cold on the East Coast. It's cool here in June, yeah, but not cold. I mean, it was like 43 degrees at night 4 days ago. I remember maybe it was 5 days ago, there was a 43-degree night. But usually, right now, it's between 55 and 65 degrees at night here in June. In the beginning of June, I forget what it's like in the end of June. See, June, July, August, half of June, all of July, and all of August is usually hot. And then part of September sometimes is what I consider hot is anything 85 degrees and over. It does get 85 degrees here and over. It's not that common, but it happens in especially July and August. Yeah. And oh yeah, I was going to film the skunks yesterday with my new phone because they were going to get into a fight. I wanted to show that they squeal like little piglets when they're fighting, and sometimes they growl too. I keep hearing stories about, oh, they don't spray each other and they're really gentle and blah blah blah. It's not true. They're nasty and they spray each other, and they have tempers. Yeah, they don't like each other. They push each other. They turn around and they push with their butts against each other, and they have this little pushing match. Yeah, but they're still cool. Yeah, I like the skunks. I'm not going to mess with them. I'm not going to try to scare them or try to get them to spray me. Somebody said, you should just do a jump scare on them or something. No, I am not going to do it. Let's see. Mike says, Tufts, I heard the Asian tick was bad down south and moving its way north. Yeah, I better not get here. It better not. Um, Mike said, I'm going to have to send you a new set. I'm going to have to get myself some epoxy. Well, I got some epoxy. I did get it. I ordered from Amazon, so I'm going to re-epoxy this. Or, yeah, I have to re-epoxy, and then I'm going to use the smaller bumper. Was that the one that already had loose cap? Wait a second. This is the one that was already loose. Never mind. I thought this was the new one that I've been using. This is the same old one that my favorite size. Like I think it's a 9-ounce. This cap came off a long time ago. Well, relatively speaking. This is the one I'm using now, the 6-ounce. Okay, so I think this 6-ounce is still firmly attached. I got mixed up. Yeah. Okay, so it's still firmly attached and still operating well. Very nice. Okay, so false alarm. But I will re-epoxy that one. Jim says, not looking forward to it, but hopefully on the far end, I'll be able to nap for more than a couple hours without feeling like I was hit by a car. Oh, dang. Let's see. Ed Gould says, you're looking at some dust coming your way too, Jeremy. Dust storms, red clouds, tick COVID. Yeah, that sounds wonderful. Ninja ticks. I think ninjas are Japanese though, but who knows? It could be ninja ticks from Japan. Who knows? Scott Lauer's here. Hey, chippers. Yeah. Jim says, on the bright side, I'll have plenty of time to go through the Don Crabtree research I've got from one of his students. I see. Mary says, good afternoon. Hey, hello. Let's see. Mike says, I've only heard of one state having it, and that is Connecticut, confirmed cases of the new Asian tick. Yes, but see, Connecticut's not that far from me, so hopefully it'll be contained and won't get up here. Or maybe it'll start to grow in population, but the frost will just kill it off. We'll see. Many ticks survive the whole winter, no problem. Jim says, from what I understand, if you get them young, like if you were a wildlife rehabber, they make fun pets if you can get them descented. Yeah. I thought that was common knowledge that skunks are good for pets. I've known that since I was little. And raccoons too. You can keep raccoons and stuff. Raccoons are more mischievous than skunks because skunks can't climb like raccoons. Yeah. And skunks don't open doors and stuff. And they don't, skunks usually don't mess with other pets, but raccoons can get feisty. So yeah, I've known that skunks make good pets if you get them descented, Even if they're not descented, you can still, if you acclimate them to you when they're babies, you can still feed them and they won't spray you. You can feed them by hand and stuff because they'll get used to you if you feed them as babies. They still have the potential to spray, but they won't spray you unless you mess with them or frighten them. I wouldn't want to keep an unscented skunk in the house, though. And they say, not they say, I looked it up. In some states, it's a requirement that your pet skunk has to be descented. Yeah, because I think they call it a public nuisance because if your neighbors are, or someone comes to the door like the mailman and gets sprayed by your pet skunk, you can get in trouble or fined or something. Or if, you know, I suppose if one of your friends gets sprayed, he can also complain about it and you get in trouble if it's not descented. Trouble as far as, you might get a fine or something. Similar to what happens with dog bites, I suppose. Let's see. Ed Gould says, I think the bungee basket would take care of the skunks. Pitch him over to the next block. No. Let's see. Jesse says, I drilled a small hole in mine and rammed a pin or wire through as a locking pin. Oh yeah, I can pin that cap to the bopper handle. I can do that, yes. It's a good idea. Scott says, hey Mike, I used one of your boppers the other day. Worked great. First time I've used a bopper. Awesome. That's a good idea, says Mary to Jesse. Jesse says, thanks, Mary. That's how the vintage golf club heads were held on. Epoxy or glues weren't that good way back in the day. I see. Jim says, did you ever read the book Hatchet by Gary Paulson? The book Hatchet by Gary Paulson? No, I didn't read that one. Scott says, Pat, I'm amazed you got a blade from that piece. It was supposed to be the bad piece, hopefully. Yeah. I'm selling it in the auction. I refined it off camera. It's is it item number 1 in the auction? I think it's item number 1 in the auction this week. But yeah, it did get crunchy and steppy toward the end, but it wasn't bad. I've napped much worse chert or flint than that. That's actually not bad because I could run long flakes half the time. The flakes would be good enough to run, past halfway. The material's good enough to run long flakes. I'm looking forward to napping the other stuff. And I am sending a box to Danny Collins, and I showed the box that I'm sending to Danny Collins in the auction just before the rules. So it's like 20-minute mark or something. I don't know. But I'm glad you're amazed because it makes good content when people are amazed. I hit the boppers like Tiger Woods. Yeah, I abuse the boppers. So yeah, my tools they don't last. Same with natural tools. If I use antler and stuff, my antler billets don't last. Yeah, they last even shorter amount of time than these boppers. I go through antler billets pretty quick. So I use mostly hammerstones instead of billets. I'll use antler for indirect percussion. Yeah. And they don't last long for indirect percussion either. And my hammerstones don't last long either. I go through I go through every type of tool really fast. Let's see. Let's see. Brennan says Hatchet was great. The book Hatchet. Brennan says, what was the other one or two in the series? I read another one, at least where he goes back to the wilderness. Oh, okay. I like the whole Brian series. I see. Bren says, yeah, him finding Flint in the cave always stuck with me. Jim says, there's 5 Hatchet. The river, Brian's winter, Brian's return, and Brian's hunt. Interesting. Brennan says, that's cool, Jim. I haven't thought about those books for a while. What did I see? I just watched The Revenant with DiCaprio, The Revenant, right? I just watched that movie for the first time like 4 nights ago, 3 or 4 nights ago. It was good. I like the CGI was excellent. The bear, it looked like completely CGI, but it was still good. It was a very good movie. It's all like it made me cold to watch that movie because it was all icy and winter weather and no sunlight throughout the whole movie. Let's see. Peter Jim says Peter Coyote narrates a great audiobook version of them. Okay. So yeah, I saw The Revenant. I'm starting to watch more movies now. Uh, I need to see. I need to see some more movies. Watch some more movies. I got to get caught up with the movies. Last week I tried watching movies, but what I'm doing is I'm also watching World War II movies and documentaries and stuff. So I forget that I should be watching these so-called primitive skills movies or primitive cultures movies. Yeah, I get distracted and I start watching other stuff. I didn't do much napping last week. Took a break, but still didn't help. I still don't want to do big chunks. The smaller bopper actually works a little bit better than the bigger one. For me, anyway. I can swing the 6-ounce faster and with more accuracy than the 9-ounce. And with accuracy, I don't have to worry too much about breaking it. But this is really bad stuff. I mean, this is terrible as far as quality. It's mixed together. Down here, this stuff is not bad. Hey, Jesse gave me $10. Thank you, thank you. This stuff down here is not bad, but everything else is terrible on this piece. It's nothing like the bullhead flint. Oh no, this is like the most crudiful crud of all crudiness compared to the bullhead flint. It's heat treated too, so I can't imagine what it'd be like raw. All right, where am I? Jim says, speaking of audiobooks, Patrick, did you sample those McManus books? Sorry if it's annoying you that I keep asking. I just really think you love them, and I'm curious to hear your opinion. I did not read any audiobooks or look up any audiobooks at all. So sorry about that. I looked up the McManus books, but I didn't start listening or reading any of those. Yeah. And a lot of times what I do is when I get up in the morning, sometimes I don't get up right away and I'll put on an audiobook. But lately I've been putting on the news or it's not really news, it's updates from various sources on what's going on with the U.S. Supreme Court. So I listen to I think his name is Andrew Branca, that lawyer, and anything that Robert Barnes is putting out on Rumble. Robert Barnes and Andrew Branca. In case you're curious, that's what I've been listening to in the mornings. I haven't. That's when I usually listen to audiobooks. So I've been listening to the developments of the U.S. Supreme Court, the cases that are coming up. Anyways, Mike says, I have a revenant wish. I had Jeremiah Johnson sitting next to it on my movie shelf. I see. Tough bopper fun. Okay, Jesse says it's a tough bopper fund. Skunk treats. Yeah, J Money. Jesse is J Money. Yeah, that's your nickname now, Jesse. Jesse usually contributes something, a super chat during the live stream. That's pretty cool. Thank you. Dalton says Empire of the Summer Moon is a great book in the Comanche. Yeah, on the Comanche. I need to read that. Yeah, Empire of the Summer Moon. Yep, that's definitely on my list. I think I've got it on my wish list on Amazon. Well, not Amazon, Audible. Keith Ricketts gave me $5. Speaking of movies, there was a 2017 film called A Bag of Marbles. Good World War II flick. What a coincidence, Bag of Marbles. Yeah, I need to see that one. If it's a good World War II flick, I need to see it. Smallzilla says, Happy Monday, Patrick. Was fun seeing the skunks. Hopefully they're friendly. Yeah, they're friendly. And if I go out there and if I stand too close, they take off. They're used to me by now, and they got an excellent sense of smell, and they remember smells, so they know. I'm assuming they know it's me, and they just kind of scamper off when I go out to my shop, or I go out and I look. What are they doing? Or if they start fighting, I just go and I stand out there, and they just go, "Oops, sorry, see you later." I didn't mean to cause trouble. Okay, sorry, and they just take off. But we have got possums. The gray fox is now getting brave too, because the gray fox was there a couple of nights ago, and I didn't even see it. When I went out to the porch, and I just was standing there, just getting air, and I saw a flash. And what's that flash? And it was its eyes, because I had the porch light on. So the eyes flashed me, and I look, what is that? And then the fox is right there, 15 feet away. Usually he's not that brave, but yeah, it was chewing on cat food that I threw in the grass. Because what I do is, in order for Jumpy and Muddy not to fight, I gotta throw the cat food in the grass. After the cat's done during the day, I don't know where she goes at night, but anyway, I dump the cat food in the grass, and they won't fight. They'll just kind of stay like exactly 3.6 feet apart, and they'll face each other, and they'll be eating. Saying, "Don't you better not get any closer. This is my stash over here." They start eating their own little stash of food. But the fox will scare them away and eat the cat food in the grass too. And I didn't see it the other night until it was right there. Getting too brave. It's a gray fox. And there's two gray foxes. I can't tell which one's male or female. I assume there's one of each. Let's see. Smallzilla says, I also wanted to say I had a fantastic artifact find this weekend with my father. My first ever knife. It's the centerpiece of my collection now. Awesome. Ed says, have you seen the movie where the boy gets taken over a cliff by a bison, then gets left for dead? No, I haven't seen that one. Sounds like, Mike says, sounds like it's about the ammo my grandpa used in Korea. I don't know what that is. Scott says, Pat, the black bullhead is extremely nice. If the tabs are good, then they'll be like the nice Danish. Incipient cracks are easy, though, with direct, as it can be buttery. Okay, good. Jermaine, hello. Everyone say hi to Jim. Gulf Coast Knapping. Hey, how's it going? What's up? Just here on the live stream. Just trying to nap this piece of heat-treated jasper, Oregon jasper. I'm going to have to do... I'm going to have to make do with these flakes because this is not going to turn out very nice. I'll save some of the flakes. Let's switch over to a different material, shall we? Because that one is starting to... That one's going to be a piece of rubble pretty soon. I can't get it thinner than that. It's too crackly and crunchy and nasty. So we're gonna switch over to material from Jeff Head, the butterscotch, Flint River butterscotch. Yeah, much easier to deal with. 6-ounce popper, lead filled copper. 6-ounce popper, lead filled copper. Yep. From Mike Tufts. So it's got cortex on one side and nothing on the other side. Well, this is much better. Oh, yeah. I'm going to probably hit this too hard. This is raw. Yeah. The other one was heat treat. The one I was just napping. Anyways, I do like a good challenge every once in a while. Because it's, it's something new. But that one was too challenging. It's not supposed to be impossible. Yeah. It's supposed to be good. At least, better than zero. Yeah, if it's better than zero in nappability, it's good. I wouldn't say it'd be great, but hey, at least it would nap. So what's the low end of the nappable stones? In case you don't know. The low end of nappable stones is the quartzites and the rhyolites. They're very poor quality quartzites and rhyolites. And I suppose there's other stuff mixed in there too. Some of the raw stuff, like if you try to nap raw novaculite, many times it's like terrible. I guess some of it's not too bad. Let's see here. The movie you just referenced is Alpha. I own that too, says Mike. Okay, Alpha is the one where the guy goes over the cliff with the bison or the buffalo. I see. Dwayne Griffin says hello. Hey, Dwayne. What's up? Keith says, Ed, I seen that movie. I can't remember the name just yet. Boy had to survive and make his way back to his tribe. It was an awesome movie. I need to see that one. Alpha. Okay, Alpha. Gulf Coast napping. I was just working that butterscotch. It's wonderful to work. Oh yes. And I've seen a lot of your videos there on the butterscotch and other nodules of this Flint River stuff. Yeah. That you've been working on. Ed says he wouldn't have been on the hunt if he hadn't made that nice blade. Ross Wellman says, checking in from the golf course, Patrick. Hello, everybody. Hello, Ross. Golf course guy. Yes, Alpha is the absolute great movie. I had to watch it twice in a row, says Keith. That makes me want to go see it. Well, I guess I can rent it right on the Amazon. Let's see, Jake. That's a great place you're working at. It's done, Keith. Finally, that's a great piece you're working on. Okay, Jake. Talking to Jake. Yeah. Smallzilla or Harley says, Patrick, I was wondering if you're ever going to bring the signs I 3D printed back into your napping space for some decoration. Yeah, I just got to get them backlit. Yeah, I'm working on figuring out how to backlight them. And, instead of using this box, because I got a cutout, they'll all fit in this cutout, but the box is too big. I need to find a different way to backlight them. Yeah. I will put the signs back up. Jake is going to make another insane blade. Yeah, I bet you he is. I'm going to be working on a large blade too with obsidian. I'm not looking forward to it yet. I still got some stuff I want to do before I get to that. A man does not live by napping alone, says Ross. Jake says, what's your favorite stone to work? Mine is the black butter obsidian. It used to be high grade heat treat. Doesn't matter what type of heat treat. It's just high grade heat treat used to be my favorite. Now it's the black butter obsidian. What's my second favorite besides high grade heat treats? I don't even remember now. Oh yeah, high grade raws. So it could be any type of high grade raw, which the outstanding high grade raw can be like amoeba chert. It can be high grade Georgetown. It can be the high grade root beer stuff from Texas, high grade Georgetown from Texas. Or now the bullhead flint was good. There's all kinds of good raw material like hornstone. High grade hornstone is raw and it's excellent. Um, that was up near my top three. It used to be number one when I first encountered high grade hornstone. It was my favorite. Yeah, but now it's gone down to like number three in the high grade raw category. So number one is the black butter obsidian and other buttery type of obsidians, which is between dacite and obsidian, or it's between the not so glass like stuff and the glass like obsidian. In between there is the buttery stuff. Those are my favorite now. Now that I've gotten more experience with obsidian. And then number two is the heat treats. A wide range of heat treats, as long as it's high grade stuff, is my second favorite. And my third favorite is the high grade raw stuff. Doesn't matter what it is. And butterscotch is very nice. It's a high grade raw, very nice. You know, if it's high grade butterscotch, it's in the high grade raw category, which is very nice. My third favorite. Yeah. Now, what did I do with the bupper? Okay. Yeah, Jake, nice. I love that butterscotch color. Yes, it's my favorite color. This butterscotch stuff. It's a coastal plains chert, where we call it Flint River, and I get all of my Flint River now from Jeff Head. His last name is spelled Head, and he does offer more stone for sale. He's got a ton of it, literally tons of it. Alan Cole says he sent me a picture. Okay, I might look at it. I saw that blade glow. I don't know. Which blade, Ed? Oh, you're probably talking about Jake's knappings. Keith says Patrick doesn't like napping big blades, but he's so good at it. Such conflict. Yeah, I don't know. Killer Cork is here. Yay. I'm not that great at napping big blades, I don't think. No. I need to get better also at using jigs and stuff. We'll see. I keep getting requests to do Cumberlands and stuff. Can you do a Cumberland? Because, I'll die if I don't see it. I know I'll die. Come on. Please do it. Just do it. I don't know. It's a whole different. First of all, I'm trying to learn the Cody complex. The ways of the Cody complex seem to be obsessed with symmetry. Drives me nuts. Because I like the randomness and the asymmetrical look to the points. That's what I prefer. But the Cody points are the opposite. Highly symmetrical, highly regular. I shouldn't say regular, highly sequential as far as the flaking goes. Totally the opposite of what I normally do with my particular style. So far, the Scottsbluff points that I've been making have been mainly opportunistic flaking, so the flaking is spaced out kind of random, but I've got to do more of the contrived stuff so the flakes are collateral. which will take me even longer than it takes me now. It takes me 2 hours to do a Scotch bluff. If I make the flakes collateral so that they're exactly opposite each other, it'll probably take me 4 hours or double the time it takes. Because I had not only have to figure out where I can remove a flake, I've got to create the platform where a flake needs to go, and I can't mess up the platform. Brentley's here. Hello. Awesome. And the large blades, yeah, I don't like them. And the reason, I can't figure out exactly why the reason is I don't like them, but it has to do with just the tediousness. There's so many flakes to remove with a large blade. And then after that, I got to sharpen that big old area. It's just tedious. Um, yeah, it doesn't get done fast enough for me to be enjoyable. Yeah, it's got to be able to be finished, pretty quickly. But people want to see stuff that takes forever to make. I guess so they can see that it takes forever to make, because they go, oh, now I get it. Why I can't do it. I'm trying to do it in 15 minutes when it takes an hour and a half. Yeah. Yeah. They need to see that it does take forever. Then they need to see that it does cause torture and mind suffering. Oh, that's why I suffer with it, because it's a pain in the, you know what? Yeah. Now I get it. And the next question is, well, how did they do it back in the day? I want to know how they did it with natural tools now. Okay, I see how they did it. I see how you do it with copper, but I want to see how they did it with antler. Yeah. It just takes longer, that's all. Even longer. So those guys were obsessed with symmetry. They had plenty of time to work. This is the Cody complex guys. They had plenty of time to work on the points, obviously. With the high grade stuff, the high quality Cody points. Now, there's a lot of Cody points, Scotch Bluffs and Edens, that don't have the nice, pretty flaking. It does have the flaking to the middle, creating a diamond cross section, but many of the Cody complex points are not pretty. Sometimes there's mistakes and step fractures and stuff in the points, and sometimes they're very flakery, which means that they've got a way more flakes than what you see as the pinnacle of the skill, where you can actually count the flakes on one side. Maybe there's 12 flakes on that side of the blade, and there's actually 12 flakes on the other side of the blade. But some of them, there's so many flakes, there's like 50 on that side and 30 on the other side, but they all meet in the middle. So the goal of the Cody complex was symmetry and balance, and symmetry, balance, overall shape was pretty consistent, and the points were sharp. The sides were not that sharp, and the bases and the stems were extremely well made. So they must have been hafting them into something that required a stem that was almost perfect. I don't know what would require that. What kind of hafting arrangement requires a stem that's almost perfect? I don't know. I'm trying to figure that one out. Yeah, because usually, no matter what the blade looks like on these Cody complex points, the stem is nice. Very patiently done. It takes, on the stem just by itself, it could take up to an hour just to do the stem. Well, that takes me that long. I was trying to judge how much time it was going to take me this morning to finish. I finished the Obsidian Scotch Bluff this morning, and the stem, I think, took me 45 minutes. Not quite an hour, but it was obsidian. I don't know how long the other stem took me on the Knife River Flint, Scottsbluff, in the current auction. There is an auction going on right now, but it's not a live auction. I just post the items and I declare the winners at 9 Eastern Time, 8 Central Time. In case you're watching and you don't know what I'm talking about. I have another video that's I posted today. So you'll see 2 videos today. You'll see this live stream and the auction video. You look at the auction video, and those are the stuff that I have. Those are the things I have for sale. JF is in the house. Yes, he is. Hello, all you rock breakers. Jeff says, "How's Muddy and Jumpy doing?" They're just fine. Although Muddy's getting cleaner, it's been raining a lot, so I think he's been, his fur has been washed out or washed a little bit from the rain. But usually, Jumpy is very clean. I don't know where he's staying at night, but it's not muddy. Not like where Muddy sleeps, obviously. Let's see. Jake says, I second that. Large blades are tedious. Usually takes me 3 to 5 hours. Yeah. See? Tedious. Scott says, Jake, that's quick. I take a day making something a third the size of your stuff. Smokes. Brad. That's you, right, Brad? Because I'm thinking if I say Brad instead of Smokes, it could be somebody else, but I think that's you, Brad. Good to see you. Yes, it is you. Okay. JF, nice. Ralph says, hello, everyone. Ralph's in the house. Yes, he is. Even Scott Lauer knows it, that Ralph's in the house or is excited about Ralph being in the house. Yeah. So how is Ralph doing? Just ask him. All right. So no one asks about the poor cat Louise that comes around. She comes around every day. Sometimes she comes around for attention. Sometimes she comes around for food. And I have the front window is right next to our AC unit. On the ground, there's an outside unit which has a fan in it. I don't know what you call that, a condenser. She jumps on top of the condenser and she can look in the window. And she sits up there and goes, meow. Just like you see her mouth move. So I go out. But no one asks about Louise. And she's just a cat. No big deal. And she knows the skunks by now, too. If she's there and the skunks start moseying in and start to approach looking for the cat food, she'll just kind of lay down right there next to the porch or somewhere in the grass. She'll just lay down and watch them. Yeah. They don't interact at all. No. Yeah. Anyways, the cat, I didn't know what her name was for a long time. She used to hang around in the backyard chasing squirrels, chipmunks, and rats. But now she doesn't do that anymore. She just eats the cat food. So I don't know if it's something good, but yeah, that's so now you know all the animals that come around, right? I have a new batch of European starlings that come around that I haven't mentioned yet. They make a mess of my front porch if I leave the cat food out by accident on the porch itself. They'll come around and they'll eat the cat food, but they'll poop all over the porch while they're eating. I don't know what that bird does to poop so much or what it eats. Anyway, there's like 8 of them that come around now. So I can't leave the food out. I've got to throw it in the grass or bring it in. I can't leave the food on the porch anymore because of the flock of European starlings that are now taking over or trying to take over the cat food. Yeah. Let's see. Ralph says, yes, Jumpy, Muddy, and Stinky have been bidding in the auction. Oh, yeah, I saw that. That's too funny. Mary says, so when do we get video of Louise? Oh, I can shoot a video. I'll do it this week. I've got my new phone camera. I'll shoot video because now the microphone works. I can just hit the record and do it on my new phone. Right? I'll do it. I'll start doing it. See, Louise once in a while has a collar on, but she takes them off. So she may or may not have a new collar on. Her owner just lives on just that house behind my house on the other street. I don't know which house he comes from. It's either that one or that one. Two houses behind me. Um, she lives in one of those houses. Smokes says, that's who outbids me. Who outbids you? Ralph Snyder? Is he? Yeah, is he outbidding you, Brad? Let's see. Ed says he didn't see yours yet, Mary. Let's see. Smokes will like the photo I sent, Patrick. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Oh, look at that. I don't know. Should I? Should I show it? Yeah, we gotta. It's a bad influence. We're a bad influence on people. These are cigars, and that's a knife. The cigars are piling up, and I just picked up my custom. What is it? Modern blade. Yeah, custom modern blade. Sweet. Yeah. Cigar smokers. Yeah, I hurt myself when I went to go visit my sister. She's on a little vacation, right? I hurt myself with a really nice cigar. My brother-in-law bought me really nice cigar. I said, "Dang, that's a super nice $30 cigar." I hurt myself with it on purpose. Yeah. um, Brentley says I sent you something in the Gmail. Okay, let's see. What did I get sent? Um, I got an email from John. I'll make sure that I'll read that a little bit later. Let me delete all the spam first. I gotta save that one. That's it. I gotta save that as a receipt. I don't need that one. I gotta put this. I gotta report that as spam. Where is it? Report spam. Yeah. I gotta delete that one. Delete that one. Come on, delete this one. All right. So, who sent me something? Brentley. I don't see Brentley. Where is yours? Oh, I need to read something from Arville. Arville Morganson sent me something. I haven't read that one yet. Uh, okay. I need to catch up on some of this. I didn't see all these other ones I've missed reading. I got 1, 2, 3. I got like 6 I haven't read from a week ago. Dang it. I don't see yours, Brentley. Make sure you send it to jackcrafty2@gmail.com. Unless you have a different name in the emails. Like Alan Cole, his stuff comes up as Cole's Reptiles. If it's something like that, I won't see you right away, Brentley. Or I'll think you're somebody else. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Yeah, I don't see anything. Unless I'm not. Maybe I should be looking at Instagram. No. Facebook, maybe. Where did I miss? Let's see. Patrick's Poopy porch, says Ed. Yeah, I had to sweep all that stuff off. So, Brad, did you see those cigars? Those are hand rolled. Alan hand rolls the cigars, and they're good. He sent me some. We traded, okay? He's not dealing in tobacco. Okay, so Brentley says he sent me something in Gmail. I don't see nothing in Gmail from Brentley. I apologize if I'm too senile to use my email correctly. I just don't see it. Yeah. All right. European starlings can learn to speak human talk, says Ralph. I don't think so. Dwayne Griffin is here. Hey, Patrick, at Scott's Bluff Point, what was it used for? Oh, Scotts Bluff points. Yeah, that's a good question because some of them are extremely well made, and I think that they were not used for anything. Yeah. They're not sharp on the sides. So since they're only sharp on the tips, I think they were projectile points at little dart points. Because if they were knives, they'd be really sharp all the way down. But every time I buy a cast of a Scotts Bluff, it's never sharp on the sides. It's always sharp on the tip, though. The first third of the point is sharp. The 2/3 down the blade is not sharp, and then you've got a perfect stem. So I think it's pretty obvious that it's an little dart point. And I think that they would probably make Scotts Bluff looking points out of bone too, because it looks like you can easily make a point like that out of bone. Yeah. Dwayne Griffin says, hey, Patrick, at Scotts. Okay, what's it used for you? I think it was a projectile point. When it was used, it was a little dart point. Not a handheld spear point, but an little dart point, because the stems they tend to be very consistent with each other. So when there's a wide range of stem widths, some of them I would think would be knives and not projectile points. But since they're all pretty much the same, when you find them together, like there's some varieties of Scotts Bluffs that have wide stems, but you find them usually together in groups of wide stemmed Scotts Bluff points. And when you find them together, the stems are usually about the same. So it looks like they were made as sets to be shot as projectiles, because some of them do also have impact fractures. Yeah. Okay. Jake says, Ralph, I had 2 sirens yesterday. I heard 2 sirens, so I had to mention you in yesterday's clip. I see. Alan, did you get some peach obsidian? Peach pit obsidian. I still need to nap that peach pit Clovis. Oh yeah, Brad says, yes, they're awesome. The cigars we're talking about. Brentley says, can you do it? Do what? I think Brentley is a youngster, right? How old are you, Brentley? I forget. Brentley says, I sent it. Let's see. Yeah, I don't see anything from you, Brentley. No. I'm going to close it out and open it up again. And search all inboxes. I see more spam. Let me look at my spam folder. Maybe it's in there. Maybe it goes straight to spam. No. I don't see it. If you're having trouble sending the emails, just tell me what it is in the comment section. What did you send? Let's see. Is Peach Pit Obsidian a joke? No. It comes from a place called Peach Pit, I guess, and it has little specks of copper coloration in it. Mary says, "Is it a joke?" Yeah, no, it's a real thing. I just haven't napped it on video because I don't want to mess it up. Yeah. Ralph's over here laughing at something. I don't know what you're laughing at, Ralph. Uh, let's see. Yeah. I cannot see what you sent me, Brentley, so I can't respond to it if I don't see it. All right. Just excuse me. I need to nap now. I don't like looking at emails. Now I'm in a bad mood. You don't like looking at emails? What are you, rude or something? Yeah, I'm rude. I'm also I tend to look like I'm in a bad mood when I answer emails. Yeah. I've had people tell me, "What's the matter with you? What's the matter with you?" Nothing's the matter with me now, but now there's something matter with me because you asked me what's the matter with me. Nothing. I don't know how to respond to emails. I don't know what it is. I'm already in a bad mood. So it's like catching me on a bad day automatically. You email me something, you're gonna catch me on a bad day. I shouldn't say that. Some of you guys say, "Oh, no wonder he's kind of weird in the emails." Yeah. Sometimes I forget who I'm talking to. Yeah, I think you're somebody. Turns out you're somebody else. Oh, dang it. You're not the guy that sent me that. No. Who sent it to me then? Can't figure it out. I just got to keep stabbing in the dark. Asking it, did you send this to me? Did you send it to me? It's like that book. Are you my mother? Did you send it to me? Did you send this? I can't figure it out. It had a note, but I lost the note, or it didn't have a note. And I wrote the guy's name on the rocks, but the name rubbed off because I was too stupid not to touch the name, and I rubbed the name off by accident. Now I don't know who sent it, and a lot of times I forget, or I lose track of who am I supposed to send points to in exchange for rocks. Like, yeah, I'll send you some rocks. Just make me a point from it. I said, okay, fine. Yeah, great, awesome, cool. Normally I'm good about writing that down, but sometimes I don't, and then I get myself into trouble. So just be warned, I'm a spaz. If you send me stuff, I'll try to nap it on video, and I'll try to give you a point in return and stuff, but I forget. And sometimes I'll send you a point, and I forget that I've already sent you something. I'm trying to make another one because I forgot about the first one, and that kind of thing. That's happened before. And you're saying, no, it's cool, dude. You already sent it to me. Really? Uh-oh. Who did I miss then? Because I thought I had somebody else to send it to. So just be warned. I'm just giving you a heads up by letting you know what goes on with my email stuff. Yeah. It's probably why I get in a bad mood when I start to read too many emails. I'm writing these notes down, but I know I'm going to lose my notes. Dang it. Mm-hmm. And it's not an excuse. I'm just letting you know. So if you think that there's too much of a chance that I'm not going to get to your stuff if you send it to me, don't send it to me. Yeah. Send it to Jake or someone who's more responsible. Yeah. Because I'm a spaz. I will lose stuff. I will forget who sent me what. I will send 2 items to someone I've already sent something to, thinking that I still owe them something. And sometimes I'll misinterpret an email. So, just fair warning. Yeah. Yeah. This is nice stuff. I'm going to focus on this for a second. For a minute, maybe 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. Oh, dang. Those flakes are a little bit sticky. If the flakes are sticky and you're trying to do it fast, sometimes you hit the same spot twice. But it's already detached. And you hit it again, you go, wait, that came off way too easy. Oh, yeah, it's because I just took it off and it was sticky. Yeah, that's what it is. And I can nap this without grinding too much. It's very forgiving. Yeah. Yep. What is it? Is there pollen in the air? My nose has been itching all day. Who let the pollen out? What does it look like? This is what it looks like. It looks like this. It looks like a biphase or a preform or a trade blank. How many names does something like this have? Probably all kinds of names because it can be a knife. It has sharpness to it. It can be used as a tool right now. Yeah, it has many names. This has many names and it has many ways of creating it. Okay, you start to get your options limited as it gets thinner. Then the tools you're using and the techniques you're using get a little more refined, and there's less options. Tommy Taylor made it. What are you napping today? This is Flint River, Georgia chert, Coastal Plains chert. What else is it called? Butterscotch. Yeah, from Jeff Head. It's raw, but it can be heat treated, and it does get really nice. Except it gets more snap and halfish. If you can put up with the snap and halfishness, you're okay. I tried some heat treated um, Oregon jasper earlier from a big chunk that I have in the thumbnail, but this is really cruddy. Even heat treated, it's cruddy. So as a backup, I got 2 pieces of Jeff Head's butterscotch, Coastal Plains, Flint River chert. Yeah, from Georgia. Yes. He's got access to literally tons of it. And I buy my Flint River stuff, this from Jeff. Dwayne says, you're not a spaz. He just have senior moments like me. Red Eyed Patriots here. Michael, I just snapped a side notch glass point, so it became a 2-style notcher, and I meant to do that. Yep, there you go. Dwayne says that was supposed to say you just get senior moments like me. Oh, okay. I understood what you meant. Yeah. It was a senior moment. I understood your senior moment. You understood my senior moment. We're all understanding each other's senior moments. Yeah, there you go. Keith says, so what you're saying is if Jesse sends you some rock to nap and you send a point to Ralph and then thank Alan on the video and wonder why Ed sent you emails while Keith is playing with his marbles. Yeah, exactly. I think Keith has figured out my life. Yep. Let's see. I didn't miss anything. Good. I'm caught up with the chat. Yeah, that Scottsbluff on the auction today is money, said Jesse. Are they bidding on it like crazy? Is it racking up the bids? Let me see. I don't know. I haven't checked my bids in a while. Oh, dang. All right. Something's up to $100. It's the box of Broken bifaces is up to $100 for that box. I have to admit there's some rare material in there, but that's good. I'm always amazed, but I don't know how to price my stuff because I would have thought that the Scotch Bluff would be the one that is going to be the hottest item, right? Let me just check. So the Scotch Bluff is number 2. Well, it's up to $43. I mean, it's good, but I thought that would be the hot one today. Let's see. The Bullhead Flint is doing all right. It's up to $30. I'm pretty sure someone's going to snatch it. So watch out. Someone's going to snatch it at the last minute. So pay attention. That I have a feeling someone's going to snipe the Bullhead Flint. So be watching closely on that one. Devin Pinon, make sure you can see other people's bids because you bid the same as Jesse, $20 on the Buffalo River Church Art Point. Make sure you know what other people are bidding, or you can see their bids. I don't know how to make sure, other than me telling you. So I don't know. I don't know how to make sure. I'm just hoping that there is a way. If you arrange the bids by hitting the button that says newest, it usually reveals everybody's bid when you hit the newest option. Like when you go into the comments section, see it says comments right there, and when you slide these over, you slide this over and it says newest right there. You hit the newest and then arrange the comments by the newest, and it'll show all the comments in most cases that you may have missed before. So it looks like on one of these, Mary and somebody else bid at the same time with the same amount. So Mary, make sure you see everybody's bid because Sean Connery-nator bid higher than you. Before you bid, like 1 minute before you did. He bid 45, you bid 35. So make sure you see Sean Connery-nator's bids. I don't know how to make sure, but you're not seeing it, I guess. What else? You never know. Sometimes the hot items change between. Sometimes the hot items will switch. Like I'll think it's going to be. Right now, it's the box of Broken bifaces, but it could jump to another one. It's always interesting. Always interesting. Yeah, I do have an idea of what to charge for my points if I do averages. So it's not true that I don't know how much to charge, because what I do now is I just take the auction bids and I do averages and I have an idea how much to charge. If I do something like at a Knapping and someone wants to buy it right there at the Knapping, I go, okay, how much is this on average? Or I'll look it up on my phone and I'll be able to tell them. Yeah. That was always an issue for me, is I couldn't figure out how much to charge for my stuff. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to get down to a finer point on the flaker. And now is your time to set up your angelometers because I got the angles right, just right, or I've got the view just right for your angelometer to zoom in on it. And then be able to give you the readouts that you need so you can become an instant good napper. Yeah, once you know the angles, you become an instant good napper. Right? No? Well, maybe you should go take some classes in physics, and then you can become an instant good napper. No? That doesn't work either. You tried it already? You mean you paid like $1,000 for physics courses and you still didn't become a good napper after you understood fracture mechanics? Dang it. How does that work? So you went online for 2 months to all the forums and got all the information from the forums that they were putting out? Like overshots are good and there's such things as paleo flakings and that kind of thing, and you still didn't get to be a good napper, and you found out that the only good way to do stuff is with natural materials. That's the only way to do good napping or proper napping, and you tried it and you still didn't become an instant good napper even after you used natural tools. Man, maybe you should do something else. Yeah, I know what I should do, something else. I should hit the mute button and say, listen to your BS. Do it. Do it. Hit the mute button so you don't have to listen to my BS. Please do it. Better yet, go in the comments section and act like a fool. That way we can all laugh at you. Yeah. All right. What's going on? I missed something. Yes, I did. All of a sudden, there's like 82 new comments. Tommy Taylor says something. I missed all this stuff. I missed Prairie Goes to Ken's entrance. Yeah. Oh, Smoke says, what's the crown for? These are people who contribute a lot of comments, I think. They're competing for how many comments they're posting or something. Tommy says, Keith just got here and Alan still has the #1 crown again tonight. Yep. He does. He's sneaky. He is sneaky. That's what the crown is for. It's the #1, #2, and #3 sneakies. Yep. Prairie Ghost Ken is here, 7:12, and it's now 7:19. I missed your entrance by 7 minutes. The night is still young, Tommy. Yeah. Brennan says, points of some sort. I only have a lead because nobody has super chatted it up yet. Oh, I see. So I believe it goes by messages. Yeah, probably by messages. Ken says, I think I told you this last time I caught y'all live, but I'm new. I just got my hands on some boppers and 20 pounds of obsidian to learn with. Yep. And you told me that in a message too. You're well on your way. You said you need to get a leg pad. Don't worry about getting a leg pad. Just do it the way I do. See, you don't see no leg pads. Yeah. You just see a dum-dum using an indirect percussion flaker. But I don't use leg pads. Yeah. And you're new, so you probably don't know that I invented this particular style of napping. I invented the behind the knee stuff. So yeah. If you're looking at me and you say you're not doing it right, I invented it, okay? It has nothing to do with doing it right or wrong, because there isn't any right or wrong way of doing it. It's just success or not success. Are you successful at doing your nappings or not? There's no right or wrong way of doing it. But I used to get that all the time. You're not doing it right. I don't see doing rightness on your videos. I see junk. I used to get stuff like that, comments similar to that, not quite like that, but similar to that in the beginning. Let's see. Ken says, I haven't worked up the nerve to start breaking rocks yet. Been watching a lot of videos and reading. I see. What are you reading as far as napping goes? Have you been on forums? Have you been on forums? Don't take that stuff too seriously. Yeah. Just do the napping. Just do it. There's no nerve. Yeah. There is no try. Just do. Like Yoda says. Tommy says, I'm not going to try and compete with y'all tonight. Been in the hayfield all day and tired, so I'll just watch tonight. All right. No problems. Coffee time, says Alan. Yes. Oh, yeah. That reminds me. I need to drink water or I'll start to choke on phlegm. Yeah, very nice. Oh, yeah. I've been drinking that low acid coffee and I haven't even hurt myself yet. I need to get going and drink some more of that low acid coffee until it hurts. And then I know the limits. Yeah. Just like Flintknapping. Jim says, well, I got stuff to do. I'll catch you guys later. All right, Jim. He's probably got big blades to make. Ed says, that's not a crown knits pair of fruit of what? I don't get it. Let's see. Keith says it's best to hit the newest button before bidding to refresh the bids. Yes. A Ron is here. Howdy, howdy. Okay. Ken says, Brennan, I'm going to have to, sooner or later, I have access to more obsidian too. Yeah. If you have access to lots of obsidian, then you start doing it right away. In fact, go out there right now and hit some rocks just so you know you've broken some. Let's see. Maybe I can catch him tonight. Frodo Joe is here. He's number 37. Yeah. You're number 37. In either the likes or the number of people that are watching. Bren says, nice. Fortunate to have a stone source. Yes, it is. Jesse says, Pat, you going to auction your Kerrville knife? That already went bye-bye last auction. You didn't see? Who got that? Somebody got the Kerrville knife last auction. Yeah. I think it went like for $40. Tommy says, put the dogs up, Keith. I just hit the like button. Good. What's the cheapest kind of meat, asks Alan, that you can buy? Deer balls, they're under $1. Mary says, Keith, I saw a picture of some, but was just a small piece of color in the black. I don't know what that is. Yeah, Ed says, what the heck is that? So what are we talking about? Ezekiel 37, Zeke like Ezekiel is here. I haven't seen you before in the chat. Keith says, Jesse, you've been thinking about my grandfather's pipe smell. Makes me want to start smoking a pipe. Yeah. Pipe tobacco is awesome. Not that I recommend it, but yeah. I've had my share of tobacco pipe smoking, and it's easy to hurt myself on that stuff. Yeah. I hurt myself more with pipe tobacco than I do with cigars. There's something in the pipe tobacco that I think it's the flavorings that mess with me. Yeah. How does it mess with me? Gives me a sore throat and makes me feel sick. Get a little bit of a stomach problem. Yeah. I do get that kind of stuff with the cigars too, but only certain cigars, not all of them. Most of the time, the cigars just irritate my gums, and I am getting receding gums too. So I gotta quit with the cigars. Not fully, but I gotta make sure I don't overdo it. Yeah, I start getting anxiety now if I think about quitting smoking cigars altogether. Sometimes I just wake up and I don't feel like smoking them anymore, so I don't. I'll take a break for a month or two or a year, but then I'll smoke one again, hurt myself, and then oh yeah, that's what it's like. Dang it, forgot what it's like to hurt myself. How do I hurt myself with it? I get sore gums, sore throat, sometimes stomach pains, sometimes acid reflux. It depends. I think it depends on how the cigar has been aged, that kind of thing. Because I don't always smoke the same brand all the time. I switch around. Yeah. I just got a step fracture too. Talking about hurting myself, that gives me anxiety as well. The little step fractures near the edge. hmm So I don't know why I insist on flint napping when all this stuff irritates me. Yeah. Why do I insist on doing it? I don't know. There's just something about sitting and focusing on something, making something that I got to do it. Yeah. Oh dang. See, I just took a bite out of crime. Yeah. There, see that? But it had a defect. That's my excuse. See that? It's got a hole in it. Right there. Beep, beep, beep. See that? That's my excuse. I still don't like it. Even if I have an excuse, I still don't like it. Now I can put a notch on the other side. Yeah, yeah, finish it out. Put big notches like I did that on one auction. I did that to the edge, not because of a defect, but because of stupidity. So I ended up notching the other side and then putting a couple more notches in. Looked great. Yeah. All right. What did I miss? I'm tired of watching myself and talking to myself. Keith says, I never smoked a day in my life, but I can't get that smell out of my head. You haven't tried it yet? Don't do it. If you haven't tried it yet, don't do it. Uh, let's see. Okay, let's see. Ken says, I smoke a pipe sometimes when I'm feeling fancy. Yeah, that's what it is. Scott says, Pat, I found out today there was a prehistoric flint mine where I found this flint. The farmer filled the pit in, sadly, or I'd have been down there. You can unfill it. Yeah, that would be a summer project for you. Scott, unfill the mine. I am kidding, yes. Zeke says, I didn't know you streamed, good sir. Hope to catch more of them. Been making arrowheads since I was 15. I'm 32. Hey, welcome, Zeke. I do live streams 3 times a week now. I know, I'm crazy, but I'm doing them 3 times a week. 2 hours each. I should cut them down to an hour, but I'd have to change the schedule on all the videos. I think I have a notice on like 200 videos now that I do live streams. I'll have to go back and change them all. If I cut the live streams down to an hour each. Let's see, 7:30. We got 30 minutes left in this live stream, and then I'll get back to the auction and they'll announce the winners at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Okay, so in case you didn't know, you can bid in the auction right now. It's not a live auction. Just bid. Look at the other bids. Make sure you're bidding higher than the last highest bid. And then I'll announce the winners at 9, 8 Central. Why did the lion always lose at poker? Asks Alan. He was playing with a bunch of cheetahs. Hmm. Tommy says, Keith, the way Alan's number is number one to live stream and number one on the leaderboard. He is using AI to stay ahead of everybody. Yeah, what's up, Alan? Are you cheating with AI? You got AI as your buddy? Let's see. Tommy, Keith says, Tommy, Alan might be AI just messing with us. Yeah, you never know. These days, it's getting that good. Alan says, I'm just typing on my phone. I don't subscribe to AI. If I didn't, then I would probably win more auctions. Yeah, maybe so. Roy is here. I'm hoping Flintknapping will help my battle to quit smoking cigarettes. Well, there you go. It will help you do that. If you can switch from one to the other for sure. Yeah. If I quit with the smoking stuff, I have no lack of whatever. I don't have any lack of other stuff to do in its place. Yes. Uh, what did I miss? Yeah, you can win the battle against other habits if you take up Flintknapping. Yeah, it's not just smoking, but other stuff. Jesse says, I have OCD, so napping can be not so friendly if you're a perfectionist. Never happy, but I love napping and it's a never ending quest. Yes. Frodo Joe or Bushy or Harold, he says, Scott, I found one once and the farmer filler it in with a dump. Hey, why do they do that? Why do farmers do that? Why are they like that? Alan says, Roy, I quit cigarettes 5 years ago. I puff on cigars and pipe tobacco and don't inhale. I feel much better now. No more lung butter. Yeah, in the morning. Yeah, that's true. If I smoke too late in the day, I wake up with the phlegm that's spicy phlegm. Yeah, cough up the phlegm and it still tastes like cigar. It's not good for you. No, the nicotine and the carcinogens. See, nicotine is a toxin, but it can also lead to cancer, even though it's not a carcinogen like some of the other chemicals. I suppose it is a carcinogen because it can lead to cancer eventually. The nicotine, but it's a different kind of toxin than the other toxins from the smoke, as far as I know. The nicotine is a plant toxin, but it has an effect on the human brain. Strangely enough, which is it's not strange. It's pretty common for the brain to react to different plant toxins. Yeah, some positively, some negatively, some in between. But yeah, the only defense that a plant has is to make itself toxic, so that if something eats it, it gets sick or dies. Yeah. Anyways, what am I doing here? I'm just trying to refine this. I'm not just hitting it random. I'm trying to make it thinner. I had to take that bite out, but this is coming along nicely. Yeah. This is I'm gonna have to put this aside. Now I could make a little tomahawk. Yeah. People want me to make tomahawks. I can make one out of this. Yeah. Pretend it's a real thing. Pretend that tomahawks were like this were a real thing back in the day. Because people love that. They'll like it all day. Oh, that's a like. I need to create another profile on YouTube to like it again, and then I create another profile on YouTube and like it even again. Because tomahawks are a thing. Yeah, this kind of tomahawk, the kind of tomahawks that have the stick and the cross hatching. Yeah, triple like. No, I don't make that kind of tomahawks. Let's see here. Keith says, Jesse, you put out some great videos, great inspirations for my next spherical projects. It's so funny. Henry Torres is here. Keith, do you have COVID phantom smells? Smoke is one of them. Oh, dang. I actually lost my sense of smell. I know you don't want to hear my opinion on this, but I'll tell you anyway. Uh, I've had COVID a couple of times. I know for sure. Um, and I think I lost some sense of smell. So now everything smells funny or not at all. Uh, Zeke says, sounds like time you could use making arrowheads. Yeah. I can make some arrowheads. I don't know if you're talking to me. Jesse says, Zeke, welcome. Great people on this channel. Oh, yes, there are. Roy says, I'm going to have to charge my phone. All right. See you when your phone isn't so lame. I'm kidding. Let's see here. Oh, I missed a lot of chat. Oh, gosh. Henry, no COVID phantom stuff. I've been craving that smell for 40 years. Let's see what we've got, like 20 minutes left in the chat or in the live stream. Scott says, I picked up a cool flint hammerstone today whilst picking the bullhead. It's been heavily used, so I'm definitely treading in an ancient knapper's footsteps over here. They had also discovered it. I see. That's interesting. Jesse says, Keith, thanks. I was nervous to post videos. I'm kind of shy, but figured, what the heck? We can learn together. Yes. Keith says, I agree with winning the habit battle. I've been working on this one marvel so long, I've lost 2 wives and a girlfriend. What kind of wives and girlfriends do you have? Roy says, I made green glass point from half the sangria bottom, and it turned out really thick, and I lost a lot of width. If I thin it now, it will be too narrow or wavy to snap. It's like 4 to 5 inches. Yeah, that could be an issue. Yeah. That's why I drink coffee. It helps clear the lungs, says Roy. Coffee doesn't help clear my lungs. Alan says, what's the difference between a hippo and a zippo? One is really heavy and the other is a little lighter. I don't know why that's funny. Mike says, finally done with my after work runaround. Okay. Keith says, Roy, coffee helps clear lungs. I call going down the wrong pipe. Well, yeah, that'll help, but yeah, coffee doesn't help me clear my lungs. Mary says, I drink coffee so I stay out of jail. Mary, what are you doing that you have to stay out of jail? We're going to keep an eye on you. Yeah. What are y'all yapping about, Jesse? You're pretty good at napping. Roy says, Mary, good point. Let's see here. Mike says, Mary popping espressos like Popeye eating spinach so she can run from the police. That's a good one. Scott says, Frodo Joe, they were worried someone would fall in, apparently. I see. I nearly burst into tears when they told me they found a bullhead bed. Well, dang, at least you know where it is now, right? Save up the money and buy the property. There you go. I'm sure the farmer would sell his property with enough money offered. Yeah. Or you can just buy that little piece of land and put a fence around it. Yep. There you go. Just say, hey, I'll buy that hole that you covered up. Don't tell them how valuable it is. I'll buy that little hole. Let's see. Alan, watch out. You might offend Zippos. Yeah. Roy says, Keith Ricketts, warm liquid in general, tea even, can help, or maybe it's the steam that helps the lungs expand. Yeah, it could be. I don't drink steaming hot coffee though. Yeah, maybe I should start steaming it up. What kind of coffee do I drink? I just warm it up a little bit. I also have a little hot plate that I make sure it's not turned up too high. And then I have another hot pad that keeps it pretty pretty warm but not hot. And I think that little hot plate that I use is not for coffee. I think it's for candles to keep the candle soft so that it's it releases its fragrance better. I don't know, or maybe it's a wax based little bit of air freshener, something like that. But anyway, I have a hot plate, and I don't think it's for coffee. I think it's for some, for the air freshener type stuff. But it keeps the cup perfect. Um, but yeah, not even with steam do I have any loosening of phlegm. Let's see. Uh, what is this? Oh, I see. Mary drinks the coffee so she won't kill anybody in the mornings. Tommy says, Keith, get you some big rocks and start making bowling balls. Yeah, do it. Why do cows wear bells? Asks Alan. Because their horns don't work. Roy says, I'm letting my phone die now. I'll run up to the charger. I smoke downstairs in the Jeep. Yeah, just tell your folks. Tell your phone not to be so lame. Yeah. Let's see. Roy says, I'm okay with it having a chunky glass blade. It can be sharpened. I'm thinking about hafting it or just wrapping it with cordage. Yeah, just wrap it. It's easy. Let's see. Tommy says, Jake, have you finished that big point you was working on? If so, I have to look up the video. Yeah, let us know what you're doing, Jake. What did one fish say to the other? Keep your mouth shut and you'll never get caught. There you go. Words of wisdom from fish. Let's see. Let's see here. Let's see. Scott says, I'll try and buy it. Trust me. Yeah, good. Let us know how that goes. Alan Cole gave me $2. Skunk Snack Fund. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. I definitely need a skunk snack fund because they go through cat food like crazy. They love it. It must be like crack cocaine for them. Been napping some heat treated gravel flakes, says Peter Cone. Where you been, Peter? Is that first you just showed up just now? Been napping some heat treated gravel flakes. Awesome. UK Scott has took a number one spot from Alan. Hey, there it is. That's true. I just glad you pointed that out. Scott's number one. Ed says, I use a mullein leaf lung cleanse that really knocks the sludge out. Yeah, I've heard that from you before, Ed. I've got mullein now growing in a different spot in my yard. I tried planting the mullein in the front, but now I got the mullein growing naturally in wild. I don't know how it did it. Wildly. It's now growing in the backyard. How it does it, I don't know. It's surviving just fine back there, but in the front it was covered with mold as soon as I planted it. Within 2 weeks, I should say. Um, let's see. Finally giving my phone some juice, says Roy. Awesome. What's with the number? It's all over the place. Yeah. Don't worry too much about the crowns and the numbers. It'll drive you nuts. Ferdo Joe or Bushy says, I checked the old bottle dump on my land today, found a few, but the grass is knee high and it's so high now. It's so hard now to find anything. Already the grass is that high? What kind of bees eat brains? Zombies. Let's see. Doesn't it get planted with seeds? Well, I know I just dug up the mullein plants with the roots and everything, and then replanted them. They grow if you replant, or what do they call it? Transplant. They can grow if you transplant them. And I tried that with two mullein plants. And they did fine for a week, but then the week after that, they started getting moldy. And within like 2 weeks after that, they were gone, completely molded and totally rotted out. Mullein leaf tea or smoking it. Yeah. Ed was smoking the mullein. And I have a video where I dry the mullein and I put it in a pipe and smoke it. I don't like the taste that much. And I've got some mullein from the plant in my backyard. I cut a couple leaves. I got them drying in the refrigerator. The leaves are drying in my fridge because if I dry them in the backyard, they get moldy. Yeah. So they're doing fine in the refrigerator. Let's see. The mullein I use is in drops. Tastes like honey to me. In drops. Hmm. I see. Do you put drops into hot water and inhale the steam? Is that what you do? Because I've smoked the mullein and it tastes like soap to me. Soap smoke, smoke soap smoke. That's what it tastes like to me. Jesse says, "Yep, toxic or spiny." I don't know. Ed says, "I don't smoke anything now." Well, that's good. Very good. All right. So what am I gonna do if the chat starts to taper off? I got to get back to napping, or I can keep showing this one. This one I like it so far. I like it because it's cooperating. As you can see, the terminations are nice and feathery. There's some fingernail step fractures on there. There's one right there. This is a little defect, but that's a fingernail step fracture. But no, it's not. The terminations, they cooperate on this stuff. See that? And it's not because I'm doing it right on this one. It's the material. Okay, because I can do another material and I'll get those termination step fractures. And it's still me doing it with the same techniques. Okay, that's how I know it's the stones. Yeah, but it took me like 10 years to figure that out. I didn't know if it was me or the stones that were doing stuff. Okay, who's got trouble with the autocorrect? Uh, let's see. Oh, Keith has trouble with autocorrect. Did I read something wrong? What did I do? Let's see here. What happened to the dog that ate nothing but garlic? His bark, which was much worse than his bite. Uh-huh. I don't get that one. It says you just drop them into anything you eat or drink. So mullein drops, you can just drop it into anything you eat or drink. Mike says Roy is gonna be tough as woodpecker lips, starting with them bits. Hmm. Boots, starting with them boots. I still don't get it. What do you get when you put 3 ducks in a box? A box of quackers. Keith says, Mike M., I feel that autocorrect, brother. Yeah, the autocorrect. Talk about anxiety. Yeah. Yeah, the autocorrect will make you talk about bits instead of boots. We should start an anti-autocorrect petition, says Keith. Oh yes. Alan Cole, you want to roll again tonight? Yeah. 10 minutes in the live stream left. Get your questions, comments, and complaints in before it's too late. Yeah, if you don't get your comments, questions, and complaints in, I'm not going to answer them. Yeah, I'm going to say you had your chance on the live stream. If you send me an email with a question and you were on the live stream like 20 minutes ago, I'm going to say, hey, buddy, you had your chance. Are you really going to say that? No, I'm not going to say that. Okay. So I'm checking the auction. Okay, I am going to check the auction. Excuse me, pardon me while I zone out for a second here. What is going on? What in the wide, wide world of Flintknapping is going on here? Joe Barry's in the bidding. I haven't seen you in a while. Yeah. What are you bidding on? Oh, the art point, the Buffalo River Church art point. It's up to $45. Yeah, I'm amazed on that one too. I figured that was going to be just a same old average. Nice. Lots of bids coming in. Like I said earlier, sometimes I cannot predict what's going to be the hot item. It looks like this week's hot item is the box of Brooks and bifaces. I did not predict that one. What else we got going on here? What the heck is going on here? Okay, the box of knapping tools is going for a good price. Awesome. So once in a while, I'll get rid of some knapping tools, especially if I don't have many items to offer in the auction. I'll save up knapping tools I don't use very often to get rid of them so that someone else can use them. So I saved up enough over the past few weeks, and there wasn't very many knappings available in the auction. So hey, let's offer some knapping tools, and that is also a hot item in this auction. Awesome, pretty good. Yes, yes. All right, so yeah, lots of bids. Thanks, guys. If you're having trouble, one of the reasons why I have a live stream during the auction is if you're having trouble like bidding or knowing where to bid or anything, you can either put your questions in the comment section here if you're also on the live stream while you're bidding in the auction. You can get questions answered in real time. If you are confused about how to bid, you can put your bids anywhere and I'll try to get them in the proper place for you by entering your bid myself. Like I'll say, Keith bids such and such. I'm not picking on you, Keith, for such and such. I'll put it in the right spot so that everyone else can see it if you can't figure it out. But now's your chance. If you're watching and just lurking and not commenting, you can ask a question and I'll answer it in real time. I've had people have a hard time with the auction. Yeah. Such a hard time sometimes that they say, oh, I'm going to quit auctions, I'm going to quit napping, and I'm going to quit being online. That's it. And I'm going to delete all my emails. I hate email now. I've had people get really, really ticked off that they were not able to figure this out. What did I miss? Let's see. Alan says, why did the elephants get kicked out of the public pool? They kept dropping their trunks. Well, these days, you don't get kicked out of pools for that. You know that. That joke is outdated. Let's see. Yeah, Alan is equal to the dad joke king. Yes, he is. Roy says, yeah, autocorrect took a T away from Keith Ricketts. Oh, that's not good. Mike says, so one of the rocks I got at the gas station looks like a box of crayons melted together. I'm so hopeful it works out. Another is clear with a green cloud in it, possibly white cortex. Those are interesting. Yeah. Helen asks, what's a cat's favorite song? Three Blind Mice. Yes. Until the farmer's wife comes out with a carving knife. Yeah. Then everyone gets scared. Everybody runs when the farmer's wife comes out with a carving knife. Yes. Right? It is a farmer's wife. Yeah. Roy says, that actually sounds cool to have Crayola rocks that look like melted crayons. Mary says, Patrick, have you had any luck finding white chert? No. Once in a while, a good subscriber will send me some. And I have a friend that tries to send me a white shirt. But usually what I get is chalcedony, which is translucent. I'm looking for a white opaque shirt. It's not translucent. Although I'll take the translucent stuff. I'm looking for a white shirt that you can't see through. And I have not been able to find a good source. Only once in a while, someone will send me something, but it will have like pink streaks in it, or it'll be translucent in some spots, or completely translucent. The white shirt is a mystery. Where it comes from, nobody knows, and there's a lot of artifacts made from it. Where it comes from, nobody knows. I have a feeling the aliens are bringing it in. Yeah. Wait a minute, you're talking about aliens? You guys into aliens and that kind of stuff? No, we're not into aliens and that kind of stuff. We just talk about it all the time. Yeah. hmm That's it. What do you call a pig with no legs? Says Alan. A groundhog. Yeah, I knew that one already. That's an old one. That's an old dad joke. It says last week's box was a killer, but I did not bid. I see. Yeah. You don't always have to bid, Ed. In fact, I think a lot of people breathe a sigh of relief if e-money is not in the house. Jesse says, thanks, Joe, for checking out my page. Yeah, Jesse has a page. Is it Facebook page or are you talking about a YouTube channel? Roy says, Puxacani Phil approved that joke. Yes, he did. Ferdo Joe says, Jesse, I'll check out all the videos later. Ferdo Joe's name is Harold, by the way. In case you don't know, if I say Harold, hardly ever do, but you know. Alan says, why did the turkey cross the road? To prove she wasn't chicken. Jesse says, Alan, you help make the crafty experience possible. Yeah, there you go. Roy says, I wonder if I thin my point in the center to leave wide notches for a handle wrap. Yeah, you can do that. Why not? Ed says, just looked at this week's box and it's nice. Thank you, thank you. Noah Merritt is here. What's up, Rock Addicts? You got 1 minute. Noah, why do you show up with 1 minute left? You don't have time for your questions, or comments, or complaints. Well, I guess that's okay. But you almost didn't make it unless you've been lurking. We got a lot more likes than people watching, so maybe you've been lurking. Mary says, everyone have a great day. Yes, I'm going to stop the live stream here in about a minute or two, so get your questions in. I just found your channel, Jesse. Can't wait to check it out. Jim Main says, yes, check out Jesse's channel. Bren says, rarest types of laurel chert are opaque, whites and yellows, and reds and browns and purples. I'm finding better stuff these days. I posted a couple nice pieces today on the Rock Connection. Okay, cool. So laurel chert does come in whites and yellows. Interesting. Ferdo Joe says, I made a pure white knife blade today from white glass. $10 paid for the glass. There you go. Brennan says, sorry, I've been listening while working. Didn't mean to last minute it. That's right. Noah says, laying bricks this past week. I'm tired, boss. Oh, I see. Laying bricks, yeah, hard work stuff. Brennan says, thanks as always, Patrick. Have a nice day. You too. All right. It's 8 o'clock. It's the time to end the live stream. Alan says, what bird can be heard at meal times? A swallow. Keith says, Ferdo Joe, was it milk glass? Obviously. Yes, he says. All right, so there it is. 8:01. Okay, guys, I'm going to call it quits. Good to see everybody. Thank you, thank you. Thanks for the super chats and all that. It always helps. You know, the cat food is expensive. Yeah. I like feeding the wildlife. I probably shouldn't, but I can't help myself. All right. Good night, everybody. We'll see you. I'm going to announce the winners of the auctions in about an hour. I do live streams 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I have the schedule down below in all my current videos. Okay, so we'll catch you on the next live stream. It's the next one is Wednesday at 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. All right. All right, everybody. See you next time. Bye bye.